From aspiring orthodontist to Fox co-host, Ainsley Earhardt's life and career has taken some unexpected and sometimes scandalous twists and turns. Earhardt constantly discusses her faith, so it will come as no surprise to anyone that the star grew up in a very religious household. She spent her formative years in Columbia, South Carolina, and Earhardt has said that her parents, Dale and Wayne, ran a tighter ship than she does with her own daughter. As she told Yahoo, "My parents were very strict, and my dad was in the military for 20 years and was a coach." Earhardt's mum worked early in the morning, so her father got young Ainsley and her two siblings ready for school each day. At the breakfast table, he would lay out inspirational notes, poems, and scriptures every morning, which is something Earhardt later used as inspiration for one of her children's books. While it isn't rare for college students to change majors, they usually transfer into a complementary program rather than a totally unrelated one. Earhardt, however, made a jump from biology to communications. Earhardt first enrolled at Florida State University, where she enjoyed herself socially but found herself uninterested in the hard sciences. When she switched majors, the TV star also decided to leave the Sunshine State in favor of a school closer to home. She transferred to the University of South Carolina's College of Journalism and graduated with a Bachelor of Arts in Journalism in 1999. Years earlier, Earhardt had her heart set on being an actor, which her parents were firmly against. So she switched her goal to orthodontist, which was an easy choice because she worked for one part-time in high school. However, that yearning to be in front of the camera, coupled with an interest in PR and a strong desire to live in New York or Los Angeles, eventually led Earhardt to broadcast journalism. Earhardt led a student-run broadcast network while at USC, and she very quickly realized her calling had nothing to do with outfitting teeth with braces.
And I am forever grateful for the University of South Carolina for giving me the training to be here today.
Before making it up to the big leagues, Earhardt had to establish herself in a smaller market. Landing her first job turned out to be easier than she thought. In fact, she was hired by CBS affiliate station WLTX before even earning her diploma. Earhardt started on the 11 p.m. news and was initially reluctant when her boss asked her to transition to the WLTX News 19 morning show. She explained to Columbia Metropolitan Magazine, "I told him I was a hard news person. I wanted to cover the accidents and the political stories. I didn't think I was funny and didn't want to cover the fluffy pieces." Clearly, that hasn't been an issue in the years since.
Yeah, okay.
Better off saying.
Earhardt did extremely well at WLTX, where both her evening and morning programs were #1 in their time slots. She also won a South Carolina Star Award for reporting during this time and was at one point voted Best Personality of the Year by readers of Columbia Metropolitan Magazine. But after 4 years on the air in South Carolina, Earhardt decided to pack up for a job in a much bigger market, San Antonio. She started her new job at another CBS affiliate station, KENS-TV, in 2005. In Texas, both of Earhardt's weekday news programs were rated #1, and she quickly made her stamp in the Lone Star State. Earhardt has cousins in Texas and has said she always wanted to live there, but she has also been vocal about New York City being her ultimate dream. So it's not a huge shocker that she left San Antonio when a cushy New York job offer came her way 2 years later. As she put it, "I was heartbroken to leave San Antonio because the community had embraced me. My boss was a really good friend and mentor, and I loved my dear friends in Texas. But I had worked hard to get to the #1 market and didn't feel I could turn it down." Earhardt didn't leave Texas for just any job in New York. In 2007, Earhardt received a call from her agent inviting her to interview at Fox News. She turned 30 the same weekend she flew to New York to meet with Roger Ailes, then the network's CEO and chairman. Earhardt was hired as a correspondent for Fox News Channel soon after. By 2009, she had her own segment called Ainsley Across America on Hannity. Earhardt became co-host of Fox & Friends first in 2013, and then upgraded to co-host of Fox & Friends 3 years later. While she is probably best known for the latter, she has done plenty of other work for the network, including appearing on over 100 episodes of On the Record with Brit Hume, co-hosting more than 50 episodes of Outnumbered, and working on nearly 20 episodes of Fox Files. She told People in 2019, "I'm in such a different place now than I was when I got to Fox. It's all happened there. I mean, the most monumental parts of my life, really. Most of them have happened while I'm working at Fox." In 2012, Earhardt married Will Proctor, a former player in the Canadian Football League. The couple started trying for a baby when Earhardt got the itch a couple of years later. Earhardt told Women's Health that with her job and income, she felt like raising a child in New York was finally feasible, adding, "The timing was perfect, and I had everything planned. We would conceive in February or March because I was determined to have a baby in the fall." It took the couple 8 months to conceive, and they were naturally thrilled when they finally did. Tragically, at her second prenatal visit, doctors couldn't detect the fetus's heartbeat.
we saw our baby on the screen and there was no heartbeat. And so that was really difficult.
Earhardt had an operation to remove the fetus, and the couple decided to take a beat before trying to conceive again. They unexpectedly got pregnant once more in the interim, and Earhardt birthed a healthy baby girl roughly a year after her devastating miscarriage. Hayden was born on November 6, 2015. Earhardt fell back on her religious beliefs to help her make sense of her miscarriage and is now at peace with her loss. By the time Earhardt was named co-host of Fox & Friends in 2016, she had already been at Fox News Channel for 9 years. As she's always said, it was her dream role. "I'm in the job I always wanted, and I worked so hard to get here. I worked across the country, weekends, late night, overnight. I would come in right after 8 p.m. and stay all night. I worked crazy hours and loved every single minute of it, and I'm grateful. I'm finally in the job I love." Earhardt was offered her dream gig while on maternity leave, and she has said the opportunity added extra excitement to her time as a new mother. She has also confirmed she has no plans to leave until they push her out the door. She told People, "I would be completely content to stay in this position for the rest of my life. I really have finally found that peace and that happiness. I finally feel free and to know that my goals have been met. I just feel content." Though television news is her bread and butter, Ainsley Earhardt has done plenty of other things on the professional front. Her biggest side job has been that of an author, most notably of children's books. Earhardt's first book, Take Heart, My Child, A Mother's Dream, was released in 2016 and sold out within a week and a half. After her first idea was denied by Simon & Schuster, Earhardt decided to draw upon her childhood to find inspiration for the best-selling debut. Using her father's notes to her, the expecting mum wrote a book of lessons for her daughter Hayden, who was born not long after the book's release. Earhardt subsequently published 2 more kids' books, Through Our Eyes, My Child's Gift to Me, and I'm So Glad You Were Born, Celebrating Who You Are. The latter was inspired by her mother, who had become ill after a stroke. Earhardt said to City Lifestyle, "When I was a child, my mother always said on my birthday, 'I'm so glad you were born.' As I grew older, I began saying it to friends and family." All 3 books hit #1 on the children's picture book charts. And Earhardt's 2018 memoir, The Light Within Me, was also a New York Times bestseller.
I'm so glad you were born, Larry. I'm so glad you were born.
Earhardt and Proctor weathered their miscarriage together in 2014, welcomed a baby girl in 2015, and realised they were not endgame not long after that. In 2018, Proctor filed for divorce from his wife, just 1 day after she announced their separation. Rumours swirled that the former football player had cheated on Earhardt, with an unnamed source telling People that Proctor had been unfaithful. Proctor vehemently denied the claims, and whatever the reason was, Earhardt has expressed only positive feelings about Proctor, with whom she co-parents Hayden. The same year the divorce was finalised, she told People, "We honestly wish each other nothing but the best, and we will remain friends for the rest of our lives, because we share this precious, beautiful daughter together." In reality, this was actually Earhardt's second divorce. In the early years of her career, Earhardt was married to her college sweetheart, Kevin McKinney. In fact, she was with McKinney when she first started at Fox News Channel in 2007, and they were together until 2009. Earhardt became engaged to fellow Fox News personality Sean Hannity on Christmas 2024, shocking absolutely no one. Their romance was well known, even though the duo attempted to hide it for years before finally coming clean. One of Earhardt's early gigs was her segment on Hannity, which she started the same year she divorced her first husband. She met, married, and divorced her second husband while still making appearances on Hannity's show. Rumours of a romance first emerged in June 2020, after Vanity Fair reported Earhardt and Hannity had been secretly dating for months. One of the biggest signs they pointed to, aside from insider quotes, was the fact that Earhardt used Hannity's home studio to host Fox & Friends during the pandemic quarantine period. Though Earhardt reacted to the report with claims she was single and not looking, and Hannity refused to discuss it at all, People reported that they may have been dating for years before the 2020 report. Hannity and Earhardt finally went public with their romance in 2023.